Milestones aplenty tonight for everywhere related to the San Jose Sharks, including Erik Karlsson hitting the century mark. We'll break that down. We'll break down this game. And, we'll talk about what the chances are for the Sharks in the draft lottery. Right now, this is Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is April 10th, 2023, and the San Jose Sharks go to Manitoba with a chance to sweep the season series between the Winnipeg Jets, and don't. They lose 6-2 to the Jets. The Jets almost on the verge of going to the playoffs. The Sharks almost on the verge of finishing their season, but we have plenty to talk about right now here on Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive post-game. We do this after every game, so if you want to be part of the show, chat with us and fellow hockey fans all over the world on the YouTube page or on the app here in Sharks territory. Of course, follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, Discord, TikTok. Find everything at tealtownusa.com. And of course, if you want to support the pod, by all means, hit us up on Venmo at tealtownusa or use the super chat option on the YouTube. And with that, I say good evening to you. I am Erik alongside I almost messed up there. Mrs. Dana Meyerson. What's happening, Dana? How you been?
I'm okay. Guys, I'm glad the season's wrapping up. Let's be real.
Yeah, let's be honest. It's been a bit. So at the moment, Ramon Garcia, EK100 and betterish draft odds. We'll get to that. Not at the moment they aren't, but Puck Mom, congrats to EK100 and Pavelski 1000. We'll get into Pavs, and don't forget Logan 700. Yep, we'll definitely get to that for sure. So the Sharks begin their final 3 games of the regular season, a road trip through Western Canada. They start Monday night here against Winnipeg. Then they'll go to Calgary on Wednesday and finish up Thursday in Edmonton. But for this game, this was a crazy start, Dana. 20 seconds in, just a nice play that got going by Henry Thrun, and it led up to eventually EK65 getting his 24th of the year to get the Sharks up 1-0 just 20 seconds in.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say my reaction. Well, my reaction was like 60% positive because, we all want EK65 to hit 100 points, which he did. So now the Sharks can score 0 for all I care. But yeah, it was like whiplash. Is very disorienting. But you know what? If Thrun can be a good partner for EK, if he does end up sticking around next year, maybe that's an option. Although, D partners do not stick to EK65. Their points go up and they get catapulted right into another team.
So what you're saying is we need to move Thrun off of EK65's line so we can keep him around. Totally get that. So, but yeah, nice play. I think he took a hit to make the play to get it going, so made it 1-0. But then LeBanc would go to the box, setting up a Winnipeg power play. Dubois with his 27th on a play that looked very similar to what the Sharks used to run with Joe Thornton, in like a tic-tac-toe one-timer in just a 1-11 in to make it 1-1, and then Winnipeg just started dominating that rest of that third period. You get Adam Lowry with his 12th, Kyle Connor his 32nd, and Dana, it ended up being 14-5 in shots after 20 minutes, and at least we had that one moment where we could celebrate.
Who's we? I celebrated the point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they could have had 0 shots. I mean, I know I can be quoted at the start of the season saying, I want them to be fun bad, but, Guys, I just want them to be bad right now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to do. Because
And they're even bad at that. They're bad at being bad.
yeah,
Like
or
2 weeks ago.
or when they're bad, they're good, and that makes them bad. Because well, we'll get into more of that in a little bit because it just seems like you're not being entertaining bad. I mean, but you're at the same time. Then you play well to win, and that's bad essentially. But we'll get into all that in a little bit there. Second period, nothing. Like I was like, nothing happened. Like I don't know. I mean, Dana, you said you were gonna say hi to your dad. So hi to
Yeah.
Dana's dad.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I'm being told that my audio sounds like it's far away.
Oh,
Um,
I think you're okay. I think I'm just really close, so it might be the disparity
okay.
a little bit, but I can hear you clearly, so that's good. Saint Owen, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, my friend. But in the third period, then it just started to be chaotic, especially early on. Mason Appleton with his fourth, 16 seconds in, made it 4-1. Winnipeg, not to steal from Dana's post-it notes, I think, but I think that was. I would never. I'm sorry. No peeking. Yes, I'm sorry. My bad. But the 14th time the Sharks would allow a goal in the opening minute of a period, which ties the Kraken. I wonder who gave up all those goals. To make it 4-1. But then, Dana, the big moment. The Sharks get a power play. EK65 gets his second of the game from Hurdle, his 100th point of the season. What did you see from that, Dana, as EK65 hits the century mark?
I mean, he looks really confident out there. Like he's just kind of above everyone else. Had some defensive blunders in previous games, but other than that, knows how to handle himself. Hurdle was so excited. That made me happy, grabbing the puck just real quick and then hugging his face. It's just so wholesome. I'm glad Hurdle was in on it. If it would have been another unassisted, this one was unassisted, right?
No, this one was assisted by Hurdle.
Okay, but was there one that was unassisted?
Not for tonight.
Oh no, I know. It was initially listed as unassisted.
Correct. Yeah.
And changed it, and they did get in on it. Good.
Yeah.
But I mean, Karlsson's whole season has been unassisted. In a metaphorical sense. Okay, well, I'm glad Hurdle got credit for that, but yeah. So guys, Karlsson got to 100. We can be bad now. We can be so bad.
Whoa, easy there.
It's my last show of the year. I don't care.
It's her last show of the year. She's having fun. She's counting down the weeks to Taylor Swift, folks. So and then two more Winnipeg goals. Morrissey gets his 16th. You get Morrissey for a guy that's probably one of the competitors for the Norris with Karlsson, a goal and 2 assists. So you knew it was a big game for him to make a standpoint for his votes. We'll see how that happens. I'm not to aside from the game. Let me just say.
You mean you don't want to talk about this engaging and enthralling game where the Sharks really showed us what they're made of as a team? Anything else to talk about? Seriously, please go ahead. I'm so sorry.
You're good. She's let down the hair, folks, and also it's an early game. For a 4 p.m. start here, 6 p.m. for her, and in Winnipeg. I mean, at this point, we just got to let it down and just tell it like it is. Like, not that we don't do that already on this program, but that's beside the point.
I've been lying all my previous 20 shows.
Right.
I lied about everything. Margie isn't a cat; she's a dog.
Oh, what? Wow. This is going to get spicy here in a little bit. Oh boy. We're having fun here. She's at Dana May with an extra Y on Twitter. Why? Because she wanted to make
Why
Kurt.
not?
Oh, there you go. Yes, absolutely.
Why not?
I was going to say why because Curtis Brown asked why. So, yeah. So Morrissey gets his 16th. He has a 3-point night. Mark Scheifele finishes off the scoring with a power play goal for the Jets to win 6-2. A big win for the Jets as they get to 93 points. Basically all but eliminating Nashville. And if Calgary is unsuccessful tonight, the Flames are out. So we'll see how that goes. But let's go to the moment at hand. Erik Karlsson here. I mean, it's obviously, expectations I think were kind of low throughout the year or going into the year just because of what has transpired in his time in San Jose. I mean, and yes, there are many defensive miscues aside. We won't talk, not to get all Curtis Brown again, but we won't talk about how EK handed it over essentially to Nathan McKinnon in overtime last week. But you also have to give accomplishments their due. And for Erik Karlsson to do this in his 80th game, I mean, it tells you something on one, his perseverance. Two, thank goodness he was healthy for most of the season.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just occurred to me that he hasn't missed a game. I would sooner have. I hate to say it, guys. I would sooner have Karlsson gets 100 points on my bingo card than Karlsson plays all 82 games. I guess there's technically time to not do that, but this was a prove the haters wrong season. Not only the people who said he was washed, like I don't, myself included, I don't know that people thought, oh, his best season is ahead of him. Like, I don't know that I could claim I thought that. I was very much adamant that it's ridiculous to say someone's washed when they're 31, especially a defenseman. But, he also proved wrong people who, feel like he can't stay healthy for a season, that, he's just so injury prone, like he's just tumbling and falling everywhere. And, that nasty groin injury that seemed to last multiple years, like that was a big concern. But, and granted, yeah, it's possible that continued to be an issue, but he didn't show it. And that big sort of, I was going to say Achilles heel, but maybe that's in poor taste given his a flaw that was often capitalized on by other teams in previous seasons when he was still dealing with his injuries was that like he just could not turn on his right side. And if right, it was right. Mm-hmm. I don't know. If everyone knows how to capitalize on that, then like you're not going to get anything done. So I think it's not a coincidence, certainly that he stayed healthy for a season, and like being able to turn in both directions is kind of good and important. So yeah, no, I've been happy. It's funny, like my husband had him on his fantasy team, and he only got Karlsson on his team because he accidentally slept through the draft and auto drafted. And I explained to him today that we're a keeper league, so we each keep 3 players, and I'm like, you can keep him next season, and then you can take credit.
Right.
So.
Another thing about this game, and Bird 7F91, I wanted to say, the Barracuda line demonstrated multiple textbook examples of how to get trapped in your zone.
But they're a Barracuda line, guys. Emphasis on the AHL Barracuda, okay? I have a post-it about that whenever we get to that.
Let's get to those, and then we'll get to the quotes in the locker room. So currently, if you did bet at your local betting sportsbook and everything, Dana is currently at 65 post-it notes. The over-under was 70. Let's see where we're at now. Here's Dana with her post-it notes.
I would drum roll, but last time I hit a table during
Yeah.
After Dark, AJ came on, got on my case. What was I trying to say? AJ came after me. No, in his defense, it probably screws with the audio. But anyway,
Right.
I give like a little tap.
There we go.
Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it was 70.5. That was the over under. I did not plan this. I swear. Like, I just write whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone took the under. Okay,
No,
well,
I think. But
anyway, the Post-its have things written on them too. That's the cool part.
all right. Well, let's get that to cool part.
So first of all, I don't know if I mentioned this I feel like I did the previous Winnipeg show, but West Side Story is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. It's my favorite musical, so these games always have a special place in
Of
my
course.
heart. Yes. I said regarding the Dubois goal, it's the first time ever a player goal scored by a player whose spirit was not in his body. Dubois he's in Montreal already. He wants to go there so bad. But I get, he's at least 2% present enough to score a goal. He's still a good player though. Like caught up in all the drama, it's like he is still a good player, and I think wherever he ends up, he can contribute. Yeah, 700 points for Couture. I guess we can talk about that as well.
Yes.
Randy, I'm always noting like brand new sentences I've never heard in my life, or phrases that Randy will say. And during this game, he said something about being doggedly pursuant. Has anyone heard that before?
Doggedly
I love
pursuant.
it though.
Maybe going like being pursued, like if a dog's coming after you. I mean,
guys, what's the definition of doggedly? It's just like,
hey, whatever it takes.
Persistently, extremely, in a manner that shows tenacity and grim persistence. Okay, good. I was right.
How convenient.
Yeah, welcome to SAT prep with Teal After Dark. Oh, on the Lowry goal, I wrote Reimer's fault. I don't give a bleep. I don't stand Reimer anymore, so he can allow as many goals as he wants. I noted the Barracuda line being out there for 2 minutes, and guys, the fact that they didn't they all remained alive through that 2 minutes, and at least somewhat competent on the ice, that's all we can ask for. But I noted that it occurred to me you would never see this under Bob Boughner's Sharks. And I appreciate that Quinn is willing to give the younger guys a little bit more leash, because they're not playing for any. So it's if you can get these guys a little bit more NHL experience, while they're up there, I'd say why not? So,
absolutely.
So that makes me happy. It's looking back, last season definitely had higher highs than this season, but when we were pissed at Boughner for never playing anyone except his favorite guys, that was a low, because it was we're watching our team struggle and we feel the coach doesn't even see it, he's watching some alternate version of reality. Throughout this whole season, I feel Quinn has been on the same page with the team, and I'm not in the dressing room, but at least we have that. So he's been a good stopgap, at least in my opinion.
Nice.
Second period, I just wrote, "This is boring," smiley face. That's literally all I wrote for the whole second period. I was just eating my dinner. I was whatever. And then, I noted Hurdle hugging EK65's face. And that is the last Post-it of the season.
So 70 Post-it notes. If you took the under, you won. If you took the over, we're sorry. Maybe not, but nonetheless, let's get to the comments in the locker room from Erik Karlsson. It's obviously a very special thing to do. It's nice to have it over with. We got outplayed in most areas, but I see how Kessel scores, so I tried it. Okay. Well, Erik, please have a hot dog for after that one. he continues on. It's a great feeling to be healthy and play all 82. Not many guys can do it every year. So I guess he wants to play the last two, which makes sense. I get it. And considering everything that's happened to him over the last few years in San Jose, I'm not surprised for him to play. He wants to play all 82, considering all the injuries from the years past. Also, the debut, and this is the unfortunate part with EK getting 100 points and Couture getting 700 points, and was Tristan Robbins making his NHL debut in his hometown province. I think they said they had 40 Robbins sweaters in the stands in Winnipeg tonight, but Tristan Robbins saying, "You can't put it into words. Having my family here is so special. It's quicker. Defense is tighter. That's my biggest takeaway on that." So congratulations to Tristan Robbins to your NHL debut. Took the rookie lap and everything. I guess it's nice to have familiar faces together on the line. They might not have played together per se when they were with the Barracuda, but to have teammates on there probably helps things out big time for that one. Then David Quinn would go on, and he was saying, incredible year for EK. The points he has 5-on-5. It's unique the way it's happened. It's remarkable to have that season. Good to see him healthy. I wish we could have won a few more for him. Quinn would go on to say, we were overwhelmed tonight. The Jets look playoff ready to me. I've been lucky to coach great players, but none greater than EK65. He's competitive, fearless, a world-class talent, and he's healthy. I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was this good. Quinn goes on to say, right from camp, I knew EK was all in. When I first got the job, we had dinner. I knew he was frustrated with his health before, but he's been phenomenal. And AJ, thank you. Fun fact, this was an NHL record 34 loss in a game the Sharks had a lead in. If you won half of those games, Dina, they'd be fighting for Seattle in the final wildcard spot right now. Or Winnipeg, for that matter.
Yeah, but I guess we'll see how the lottery plays out. But there was a lot of debate last year when, even a few months into the season, it looked like the Sharks might have a chance. But a lot of people were saying, no, from their perspective, they would prefer the Sharks just be bad and get better picks because, you don't want to have all the excitement of making the playoffs just to get swept. If you're just clawing your way to that wild card spot and, you're not a team with a raging fire of 1,000 suns under your ass, then, it may not go well for you. Right. So, I don't know what to do with that information, knowing, that alternative reality exists somewhere.
Oh, well. Kevin is saying if they had won half those games, they'd be 1 point ahead of the Jets right now. Screw the white out. We got the teal out coming, baby. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a tough one to take. And Richard Perez saying, remember Quinn getting criticized for not giving young players enough minutes. Is this a fair criticism now? To me, I say maybe, but who else does he have left to play? I mean,
yeah.
The unfortunate.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, the unfortunate part is Barabanov's son. Lindblom didn't play tonight. He's hoping to get into at least one of the final two games. Johnson is done. We'll see if he stays around next year. Of course, Marc-Edouard Vlasic took that cheap hit from Hyman when Edmonton scores the first goal of the game on Saturday. He's done for a year. He didn't make the trip. It's you kind of have no choice, and unfortunately, with the Barracuda now eliminated, you can bring up these kids and give them a shot. And speaking of, not that I have post-it notes with me though, But a couple of fun facts here. 8 players that were in the lineup tonight for the Sharks weren't with the team or weren't on the Sharks beforehand, whether it was Barracuda or other teams going on. With Robbins coming in to play tonight, he becomes the 46th different player to wear the Sharks uniform. I know this is getting boring. I'm sorry. I'll make it quick. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That ties a franchise record for most players used in a season back in 92-93, where that team won a glorious 71 games and didn't get the first.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said they won 71 games?
Did I say one? Wishful thinking. Is it Thursday night yet? Oh, boy. Okay. No. So they used 46 players in 92-93, which they had lost 71 games. Thank you for helping me out with that, Dana. Appreciate that. Karlsson gets his first goal of the game was .74 even strength. He's now tied second with Pasternak. Only McJesus has more. So, and again, Couture's 700 points puts him with 5 Sharks, or puts him with 4 Sharks. He becomes the 5th Shark to hit 700. We'll talk about another Shark in just a second, but this is another one, Dana. He's the 5th player drafted in. He was drafted in 2007 by the Sharks. He's the 5th player in that draft to reach 700 points. Patrick Kane, Jacob Voracek, David Perron, Jamie Benn. I've done it before. Pacioretty's right there, but he got hurt, unfortunately, for Carolina. So yes, that is pretty much closes a book on this one. Let's a little bit of a wraparound. We do need to shout out a very important former Shark. There we go. Joe Pavelski gets a goal tonight, naturally a tip-in, against Detroit, and he gets his 1,000th point. So, Pavs, we love you. We miss you. We appreciate you. Congratulations on 1,000 points tonight in Detroit. So we appreciate that immensely. But, yeah, just now with the Sharks losing, Dana, I mean... that kind of sets up the hopeful scenario. So the Sharks were losing in regulation. They would need to basically lose out. Anaheim must get at least 3 points in its last 2 games. Chicago must get 4 points in its last 3 games. And Columbus must go 2-0-1 in their last 3 games, including one of which has to be in regulation because of all the tiebreakers, for the Sharks to get the number 1 best odds in the draft lottery.
I feel like that lady with all the equations, like...
And you divide that by the centrifugal force and the hypotenuse of the radius of Albuquerque. Yeah, no, it's going to be a tough one to take. The Sharks lose, so they stay at 60 points. Chicago's the only one playing this evening, so we'll see how that goes. They're at 56 with 3 to play, and so is Columbus. The tough part is for the Sharks. They have 16 regulation wins. Anaheim's at 13 with 2 to play. They won't be able to catch up, so the Sharks have to have Anaheim leapfrog them in points overall. They can hold the tiebreaker against Columbus and Chicago. However, Columbus has the first tiebreaker, which is regulation wins, and they're up 15 to 13. Or the Sharks have 16. Columbus has 15 on there.
When you really stop and think about these numbers, guys.
Yeah. So we'll see. Magnus Krona gets signed away. I don't want to say away from Denver University, but he is now with now going to be a Shark goaltender. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. I don't know. That, I guess, Dana, we have a plethora of goaltenders now. I think McAniemi and Mann still have to be signed, but there is a lot of goaltenders on hand for Nabby to get to do his magic. We'll see.
Well, I know a goaltender we can launch right on out of the Bay Area.
And wouldn't be surprised if that happens, to be quite honest. The question now is you do have Kakinen signed for another year, so you'll see what can happen there. I mean, I don't know. It's been a crazy year for goaltending. Poor Strassman's been going back and forth between San Jose and Wichita. Dell's had good moments, had rough moments. Makiniemi had a tough time being healthy. For you overall, what's this year been like?
I think it's about finding the silver linings. Karlsson's season has been like super freaking exciting, guys. We are allowed to admit it. We are allowed to admit that we enjoyed it. And, it brought at least some shred of like respect to this team, or at least the way it was talked about. Like, clearly not the team as a whole, but I really do not miss turning on every single like general hockey podcast, and the moment Karlsson's name comes up, it's like, oh, he's washed. Oh, that trade looks terrible. Oh, and like, we didn't have to listen to that for a whole year. And even if that sentiment comes back in some way, no one is ever going to be able to say that, that he wasn't worth being the highest paid D-man in the league for at least this 1 year. Right. And while I don't know that I think he'll be traded, the fact that he even could be is a miracle. So that's been awesome to see. Other than that, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of what other silver linings. I got to do a Teal Town live from the tank for the first time.
Yes.
Back in November. That was cool.
You're like, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't know. Other than that,
it's been a rough year. Not gonna lie.
The down definitely being Timo being traded.
Yeah.
And I remember that day when we were all just waiting for hours, like, what's the return? What's the return? Slowly dawning on us, like, oh no, they got peanuts.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that trade, y'all.
We'll
if I
see.
think about it too hard, my head's gonna explode. But you know what? Wait, so do we want the Devils to do well in the playoffs or do poorly as far as draft pick?
To me, I think it's you have them go deep to make sure the clauses kick in and make sure Timo Meier stays healthy, and then next year just it be like, nah, you guys can stink a little bit more. Just get ready. But of course, Luke Hughes is now with the Devils, along with his brother Jack. It's probably only a matter of time before Quinn says, "Get me out of Vancouver." It's tough. Yeah, and Kevin's confirming that conference finals this year. You want conference finals and Meier to play at least half of the playoff games.
All right, well, I hope Meier becomes the first ever player to win the Conn Smythe after being eliminated in the conference finals.
Have 35 goals in the first 3 rounds and then get eliminated. Sure.
Well, McDavid almost...
That's true.
I mean, I don't think anyone would ever actually win, but if there ever was the case to be made for someone to get the Conn Smythe without actually making it to the finals, then it would have been McDavid last year. Right. But I want to see Timo succeed. He was an absolute, like, I don't know. It'd be cool to see him go really far because we've seen him really like come through in the playoffs. If he can just keep those mitts
right
away from the pucks, then he'll serve the Devils well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And hitting 40 on the year, it's such a great job for him in there for that. So, going back to earlier, that was, it's obviously there, AJ and myself and Kevin are in the area. So, when we see each other, it's nice to see. Of course, Jerk is in Vegas. Ian is in Ontario in the province of Canada, the Sioux, so effing good. Of course, you're out in the Midwest, and Mark is in New York. So whenever we get to see us together, it's nice. So it's great to meet you and everything, plus the hubby, everything. So appreciate your support and your willingness to come on, because yes, it can be a grind of a season for sure for that. So. We will take that time to say, in case you missed anything, or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple or Google Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, of course, now on Amazon Music. Of course, if you're watching us right now on YouTube, you can also watch us on the Twitter and on Twitch. We're working on things for Twitch over the summer, so stay tuned for that. On YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to let you know when we go on the air after each and every single game, Pucknologist, or when news breaks. We try to take Gorilla Glue and just put it back together as much as possible. So with that, the Sharks lose 6-2 to the Winnipeg Jets. Minnesota is losing to the Chicago Blackhawks 2-1 right now in the second period. That is very good news for Sharks fans right now as we speak. For Minnesota fans, that's basically signifying you're finishing third in the division. So with that, Dana, I can't thank you enough, my friend, for helping out this year.
Anyone want to see a cat?
Let's get a cat. It's a swan song for Dana on the show. We will be back with you on Wednesday for Sharks and Flames. That is a TNT broadcast beginning at 7 o'clock at night. Of course, the finale will be Thursday night, 6 p.m. against the Edmonton Oilers. Margie, do not claw Dana. Do not claw Dana. But yes, hi.
I know she wants to.
So cute, fluffy little kitty. My girlfriend is probably saying, okay, there we go. And there
We're
she
done.
goes. Yeah. My girlfriend be like, my cat is cuter. And like, everybody says all their cats are cute.
Sorry, I need to keep her in there.
Okay, you
Might
go.
be
Go.
food outside.
What's on the menu tonight?
Oh, we already ate dinner, but there might still be food outside. We had mushrooms and sweet potatoes and rice and some seasoning. It was pretty good.
It sounds really healthy.
Yes.
But actually tasty too, for that matter. So I sell stuffed mushrooms at my store.
It didn't compute to her when I explained that it was vegetarian. So not for her, but if it smells good, it doesn't matter.
Yes. So with that, she's at Dana Mai with an extra Y. I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and the Instagram. We will be back with you Wednesday following Sharks and Flames. Again, that's a 7 o'clock start on TNT. And again, Dana, thank you for being a part of the team. We appreciate it, of course. And for everybody here, thanks for watching. Until next time, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Erik Karlsson has scored 100 points. Now, just lose out, please, and get some help. Good night, everyone.